वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Okay. So we start our, what is that? Oh, the pencil? The whole thing coming out. Okay, let's start with our 12th chapter reciting. You guys ready? You want a book? You will start do together. Sia, Sane, I guess. Sane, you there? And Alia, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Guys ready? Good, good. Okay, let's start. Are you ready? Arjunuvacha एवं सततयुक्ताये भक्ता स्वां पर्युपासते ये चापक्षरव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमां। श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेशमनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया पर्योपेतस्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देशम् अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थम् अचलं ध्रुवम् संनियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबोधये ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रतः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तं सक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुदार्तः मृत्युसंसारसागर भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसां। मय्येव मन आदस्त्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवशिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशय। अत चित्तं समादातुं न शोक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यास्य योगेन ततो मामिच्छन्तुं धनञ्जय। अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदार्थम् अपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। अतेत्यद्यप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितं सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्। श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
त्यागच्छन्ति निरन्तरम् अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितो मनो बुद्धिः यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यस्मान्नो विजते लोको लोकानो विजते च यः हर्षमर्षभयोद्वेगे मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न विश्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान्यः स मे प्रियः समशत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समसङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टः येन केनचित् अनिकेतस्तिवमाते भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्मभूतमिदं यतोक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र शब्दधनमत्परमा भक्तास्ते देव मे प्रिया ओम
तत्सविते श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे भक्ति योग नाम 12 श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु. Good day. Okay, this one when we get to the 12th chapter, you guys will enjoy it. All the shlokas are about how God says, if you are like this kind of bhakt, you are very close to me. I love you guys. Like, the bhakt kind of, he gives from, okay, you cannot do this, then you can do this, as you're still my loved ones. Then he will say, oh, you cannot do this, you can do this, you are still my loved ones. So he kept on saying all kind of people whom he loves. So it's very beautiful one. When you get to know the meaning of these shlokas, you will love it. Priya means loved ones, right? So if you look at these shlokas, he after the 13th and 14th shlok, he starts saying, Sacha me priya, like ending is all Sacha me priya. That one is loved ones also. Then he said that other category of people, I love them too. Then other category of people, I love them too. So he gives all the list of people that God loves, right? So it's beautiful poetic, shlokas that God tells to Arjun that what kind of people he loves. And so it's very nice. Okay, let's do a quick meditation and then we will start. Everybody? What happened? What happened? Blood? You want to wipe it? Okay. Let's put the hands on our lap. Close our eyes. And just try to have one thought in our mind or in our intellect. Just the one thought, which is that we are strong and we can do anything in this world. We are strong and we can achieve anything in this world. So with that thought, if you have to repeat that thought in your mind, keep repeating it. That I am strong, I can do anything in this world. Do you feel good when you do that? I feel like I want to do it longer. Do you guys feel like that or no? So how good the thought is, when you feel like, I was thinking about to tell you guys this thing that if a person thinks that they are alone, right? They are alone or they are lonely, but a person is never lonely. Why? Do you guys know why? Even if you are sitting by yourself, are you lonely at that time? Are you alone at that time? Even if you are at home, alone, no mom, dad, are you still alone? Who is with you when you are by yourself? God, yes. He is with you all the time, right? When we say that He sits in our heart, means He is with us all the time. And that's what gives you the strength, right? That's what it gives you the strength that I can achieve anything, because what happens in myself, God is there. And if the most powerful person in the entire universe is with me, then how can I not achieve anything in the world? Right? That strength that we get when we feel like God is in our heart, that makes us feel like strong, and that makes us feel like we can do anything, we can achieve anything in the world. So the intention is that God lives with us in our heart. So we are never alone, we are never lonely. There is somebody with us, which is God, and most powerful person in this universe is with us all the time, right? So that's what, when we say that part, that I'm strong and I can achieve anything, means why are we saying that? Because our whole thing is based on that God is with us, right? And that's what's making us achieve anything. Okay, so last time we went through this topic of Hinduism, which I felt was a little hard topic, and I rushed through it, a lot of it, right? The Hinduism part, I rushed through it, and I just wanted to give a little revision on it before we start back on our Gita chapter, right? So we spoke about Hinduism, right? Now, what do you guys think now after we talk about it a lot? So where did we land? Is it polytheistic or monotheistic, or what was it? What did we land on?
Oh, it was, just a second. It was,
Henotheistic. Or what was the meaning of henotheistic? What do we say?
A mix of monotheistic and
Polytheistic, yeah. But what is the meaning of, yes.
One supreme God manifested in different forms.
Yes, there is one supreme God manifested in different forms, right? So we say Hinduism is more of henotheistism than many gods or just one God. We are not in that. It's the mix of both, right? So we talk about that. Then I want to talk about more about, somebody is FaceTiming, Raja. Can you decline it? धीरे से बेटा उसको खींचो. Can you decline it? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Turn on. Okay. Yeah, good. Okay, so you remember we talk about Ishta Devta also, right? Anybody remember what was Ishta Devta?
The form of God.
The form of God, which is? It is a form of God.
That you believe in.
You believe in, right?
In all gods.
Yes. So now, how will you figure out who is your Ishta Devta? How do you figure it out? I want you to give a formula. Okay? Close your eyes and think about a form that comes first to you. The form of God. The form, like the Murti. So, close your eyes and think about one God that first comes when you think about God. As soon as you put your mind to God, which form comes in front of you? When you close your eyes, there will be one Murti that's going to be standing, the first thing that you see. It could be the temple where you go, or it could be the house, the picture in the house, the Murti in the house, whichever it comes first. close your eyes and think about it. Okay, now slowly open your eyes and tell me what you saw.
I saw Ganesha.
Ganesha, right? So probably that's what I think probably for us to figure it out, this is the best way. So Ganesha is your Ishtadevta, right? What about you?
Krishna.
Krishna, right? So Krishna would be your Ishtadevta. What about you, Swara?
Krishna.
Krishna? Okay, good. What about you, Alia?
Ganesha.
Ganesha? Okay, that's good. So, Sean, I missed you here.
Shiv.
Shiv Bhagwan? So yeah, Shiv would be which photo or which picture or which murti came in front of you?
The snake.
The snake one, which one?
The snake one.
The ling or the murti? The picture?
No, like the one on his.
One in his neck. Okay. Yeah, Alia Raja.
What is
What? No, you cut off. Say again.
transmitted the
You are muting and coming on in again. Say it in the speaker.
and dance and
Okay, it's going in and out, but what I understand is in the dance school you have a murti of Ganesha. That's what you saw.
do a Ganesha.
Oh, that what you do, the Ganesha dance, that thing? Yes, definitely. That's how you connect with that, right? What about you, Shasha? What?
I don't really know.
Anything that if you say God, what comes in front of you? Even if you don't open your eyes or close your eyes, it doesn't matter. But what comes as soon as somebody says God to you?
Like Lord Krishna and stuff.
Krishna, yeah. So Krishna Bhagavan comes the first thing comes as Krishna Bhagavan to you, right? Sia, you want to share, Raja?
Yeah, I got Sita.
Sita Maya, very nice. So that's how we can figure it out. What we think, and could be later on you might connect with somebody else, or you might. So this time when you think about a God, that's the God. So when we talk about monotheism or when we talk about henotheism, what are we saying? That there is one God. So like for you, I take Risha's example. Like so, Ganesh is the God for her. So what's going to happen is even if he goes in Shiv temple, what she gonna see in that Shiv Murti? She will see Ganesha manifesting as Shiv. Right? So Shiv Bhagavan is there, but what her mind will say, the Ganesha that her Ishtadevta is manifesting as, is coming as, appearing as the form as Shiva's form. Right? So that's how we do our Hinduism, is that you don't have to follow all 100 gods or all gods, you don't have to follow. But any temple we go and we see the God, we will see our Ishtadevta taking that form. So for Avi would be Krishna Bhagavan is taking the form of Ganesha, Krishna Bhagavan taking the form of Shiva, Krishna Bhagavan taking the form of Rama or Sita or Lakshmi. So your Krishna Bhagavan is taking so many forms, manifesting in different form, right? So same way as everybody, like if you see Sita, then Sita is the one God that you believe in, but then all the other gods are manifestation of that Sita, right? Like if you go in, like as I was saying, my Ishtadevta is Shiv Bhagavan. So when I go in Ganesha's temple, even if I go Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya and pray to Ganesha, Ganesha will not say, why are you saying Om Namah Shivaya? Why are you not saying Om Gan Ganpate Namah? Nobody will say that. Why? Because I'm seeing Shiva in Ganesha, right? So that's how it goes. That's what Hinduism is. It's not that you have to believe in all, but your Ishtadevta is the one God, and then he is manifesting that Ishtadevta, he or she is manifesting in all other gods, right? So that's how we go it. So that I wanted to explain you that more. Now we did talk about different form of Hinduism, and which I think probably I had to rush at the end. So let me talk about it one more time so you guys can understand a little bit better. So what happened is, Hinduism, when we talk about it, it has many divisions, right? Not about the God, where we has a God. Some people believe in Shiva, some people believe in Rama, some people believe in Krishna. So they made different kind of culture, like temples and everything, and they follow that. But by school wise, there are many different schools, but there are main 3 schools that we should know about it as a Hindu kid. We should know about our culture, so we should know about these 3 different kind of schools that are there in Hinduism. So let's talk about it. The first one is Advaita. Advaita or Advait, we say in Hindi Advait, which is non-dualism. Which was born from Shankaracharya. In 8th century. You know, in all the religion, Hinduism is the oldest religion. Do you guys already know that? No? Hinduism is the oldest religion in the entire world. All the religion came later. So, in 8th century, Shankaracharya came. He studied all the Vedas, all the Upanishads, and then he made the conclusion on what kind of religion, what are we, and what is the religion, and what is God and everything. So his conclusion was, which we now says Advait with non-dualism. Non-dualism means there is no two. So everything is one, right? So there is no two in this whole universe. Everything is one. So non-dualism is no two. So what happened? He took as ultimate reality is none other than Brahman. Brahman, which we study when we talk about it in Gita, we talk about as a consciousness, as Atman, as a self, our real self, our ultimate self. All these words we use for consciousness and Brahman. So he said the ultimate reality of this entire world is Brahman, right? And then he talked about is that Brahman is beyond the world, beyond this universe. Everything is just in the Brahman, right? So the world, the entire world is not real. He say entire world is an appearance. It's not real. The real thing is consciousness, right? So he said there is only one thing in the whole entire world, which doesn't have any attributes. There is no attributes, no behavior, no attributes means there is no form, right? So the world which has form, name and form, right? World comes with name and form. You get that point? The world, like name is there, Sean is there, Sean has a form, right? There is a tree, which is a name of a name and has a form. And wherever I say tree, you can picture what I'm talking about, right? So there is a name and there is a form, right? Like pot, we talk about pot, then there is a pot. But what is the absolute reality of the pot? What is pot made up of? Clay. So pot is a name and form, but the clay is the real thing, right? Like if I say those jewelry are made up in gold, right? So there are many jewelries that has name and form, like there is a bracelet, there is an earring, there is a bangle, there is a necklace. But when I say that in that whole, all the jewelries, what is the real thing? Gold, right? But there is name and form, right? So name and form is the world and the gold is the real essence. The same way, the world with name and form is just the appearance, but the real thing is what? Consciousness, right? So that's what Shankaracharya said. Now what happens is that he said that Atma, the real self that we have, and Brahman are the same. They are not separate, right? So world is appearance in Brahman, but everything else is the same. There is no other, there is no two. There is not me and Atma are separate, body and me separate. No, everything comes in Brahman, that is only one. So he talks about oneness, and he talks about that everything is same. So, and what does he say? That if everything is same, and why we look at the form as real, why do we see world as real? Because we are ignorant, right? We don't know the real thing. We don't know the consciousness. That's why what happens? We think this is real. So our problem, he said, what is the problem of everybody? Is the ignorance. And then how can we liberate? So how a person can liberate if the problem is ignorance?
Be not ignorant.
So be not ignorant. What should we do so we are not ignorant? If you are ignorant of French language, what would you do?
Learn.
Learn language, get knowledge on French, right? So if you are ignorant of what you really are, what is this whole world, then what do you need to know?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. So he said that,
I have a question.
yeah, Raja.
Who said that the problem is ignorance again?
Shankaracharya.
Okay.
Okay, so when he was studying, he said the problem that we see this world as a real. We think this world is real and this is the only thing and we have to live in this world and this all things are real. So he said, why do we say that? Because we are ignorant of ourselves. We are ignorant of this Brahman thing. That's why we say. So as soon as we get to know our real self, then we are not ignorant and then we get liberated. Right? So that's what Shankaracharya said. And as soon as we get knowledge, the suffering goes away. Right? Yes.
What does it say under ignorance?
Knowledge. So as soon as we get this knowledge, what happens? The suffering goes away. So liberation is that to get off the suffering, to get away from suffering, to get freedom from suffering is the liberation. And when in this school of our Hinduism, it says the suffering can only go if we get the knowledge of ourselves, right? So that this is Shankaracharya's school of Advaita, right? You got that? Okay. So now next school comes.
Didn't we do this last week?
Huh?
Didn't we do this last week?
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to make sure. I was rushing around fast, so I thought let me explain it nicely so everybody can understand. You should understand in that way that when anybody asks you what is a Hinduism, you have whole paragraph to say what it is, right? So now next school. So in 11th century, Ramanuja came. A great saint. What he said little bit different. He said there is Brahman. What Shankaracharya said, that's right. There is Brahman. But Brahman is Vishnu. So he said there is a God. Brahman is equal to Vishnu. Vishnu is the God of, what does Vishnu is known for? God. So there are three gods we always say. Shiv, Vishnu and Bhagavad.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you turn it on again.
But it was like, I wasn't paying attention.
You know, that's okay. You have to pay attention. Okay. So then world is, what did he say? Each tiny things. Oh Raja, फिर phone आ रहा, बंद कर लो उसको.
No? What?
Yeah,
Oh.
हटा रखना. Okay. Each tree, mountain, river, us, each soul is part of Vishnu. It is part of, so us are part of Vishnu, part of God. So now for him, right, what is the problem? How we can do liberation is we surrender to Vishnu and we get liberation. Surrender to Vishnu and we get liberation. Liberation means freedom from suffering. Freedom from suffering. So this is, we surrender to Vishnu. That's what the liberation will be, right? So this is the second school of our religion. And this religion, that what we said was Advait, this is qualified Advait. Qualified non-dualism. Qualified non-dualism. So what he did, he took non-dualism, which he took the Brahman, he replaced it with Vishnu, so he made it qualified non-dualism, right? And qualified non-dualism, and in Hindi we say Vishesh Advait. But if you can remember the English word also, it's good. Qualified non-dualism. Now in 13th century, so this one in 13th century, Madhava came. Another great saint who came, and he made the religion, the school of religion, he said it was Dvait. Hold on, how will you do it? Dvait. Dvait means two, right? So he said there are two. Okay. So he made. So how did he did it? He said that ultimate real is Lord Vishnu. So he said Lord Vishnu. Ultimate reality also Lord Vishnu, which he took from Ramanuja, right? So ultimate reality, he said it's Vishnu, but what he said is, he said Vishnu is separate and he created the world, the entire material world and world as a separate identity, right? They are not the part of Vishnu. They are two separate things, right? Vishnu is separate and the entire world and material world and us and our souls are separate. So they both are separate. He gave 5 separate differences between 5 things, differences between how we are separate. So first he said difference between material world and material worlds. All the things are separate. Like, you know, the tree is separate than human being and the clouds are separate than human being. So he made difference between that. Then he said difference between material world and Atma. Atma, the real self, is different than material world. Then he says material world and Lord Vishnu are different also. They are different. Then he says difference between soul. My soul is different, then Risha's soul is different, then Avi's soul is different. They are not same, right? How in Shankaracharya what he was saying, everybody's soul is same, right? The Atma is same, but one only, right? That's what Shankara says. Here he said everybody has different soul, not just body, mind and intellect, but their souls are different too, right? He said that. And then he said the world is real, like how Ramanuja said. So the world, he said, is real, which is created by Vishnu, right? World was created by Vishnu, that's what he said. So it is real. And now how you get liberation here? The liberation is, if if God gives us grace of His, our liberation is on grace of God. Right? So we surrender to God. When God graces you, that's where you get freedom from suffering. Got it? So all three schools are different. Thereafter, we talk about these three schools. They have different ways of taking the religion in different ways. So what they did is all the scriptures, all the Vedas, all the things, they took and they make the commentary on their own thought of process, right? So you might see different kind of books, right? You might read Gita, which is different. So we didn't discuss a lot of other schools that came after. So ISKCON, that book you have, they have a different school, right? So they go different. They are mixture of some Madhvas and some Ramanujan, right? So there are some schools that took two different studies and put it together. There are schools that did a lot of different things. Chinmaya is another big school of religion, religion which they took a different route, right? So a lot of people, lot of religion, a lot of different schools came out of this Hinduism, but these are the base of the three big ones that we talk about. Now, what happened is, if you want to understand it a little bit, I'll end this class with that. So if you, Shankara's Advaita, if you see, it will be like there is nothing else other than consciousness, right? We are just form and name in the consciousness, right? So we are nothing other than it's just consciousness, and we appear, the name and forms appear in the consciousness, right? Then if you take Ramanuja, what he said, there is a Vishnu, and tiny parts of Vishnu is us and the whole entire world. So inside Vishnu, which is Brahman for Shankaras, inside Vishnu there is all the souls and everything, the trees, the material world, the whole world is in there, and we are in there, right? Then if we say Madhava, then what he say, Vishnu is separate, and then all the other are separated, which is dualism. Dvait, right? So you got the difference between all three of them, right? So we are on base of it. Yes.
I just have to try.
Got it, guys, here? You got it? Okay. So that's the three different ways of this thing. So like I was telling a story last time, and I think we were very hurried in telling the story. So there were three saints. They walked to the ocean, right? Now I will tell you all the three saints say. Now you need to tell me which school they came from. Okay? Okay. The first saint said that, oh, look at this ocean. It has different waves, right? Every wave is different from another wave, right? They come out, the waves are born, the wave stays, and the waves merge back into the ocean, right? So they are all different identity. And ocean is itself separate than the waves. Which school is that? Madhvacharya. Good job, guys. Okay. Now the next saint said that, oh, the waves are same with ocean. The waves came out of the oceans. So ocean give birth to the waves and take the waves back into the ocean. Ramanuja. Good job, guys. Okay. Then the last one says, I don't see anything else other than water. Wave and ocean is just the name and form, but it is water, right? Shankaracharya. So that's how we get to know all the three different schools, right? Good job, guys. Okay. Any questions in this one? Okay. So where are we on this? But there are, remember that there are many other schools too. But we have, like all the other schools, you will find out that they took the base of out of these 3 schools. They are more big foundation of that. Okay. So now, Nanu, is it still working? Okay. Okay, what time it is? Do we have good time?
It's 4.
10 more minutes? Okay. So 10 more minutes, let's take one shlok from our Gita so we can move. Okay. So let's go to chapter 4 back.
4?
4.
5, sorry. You know what? Next class is 100th class.
Wow.
Yeah.
For me, it's my 79.
I know. You missed a couple of them, so that's okay.
We should have a celebration.
Yeah. But how should we celebrate? We will talk about it when after we finish this class. Hmm?
You should have a cupcake.
I know, we should have some party. It's 100 class, right? It's a very, very good. You guys made it 100, so awesome. Okay, let's go to chapter number 5. I think I left at 11th shlok, but
You did 12.
12? Like we started 12th, right? Yes. I think we didn't finish the 12th because I remember I didn't
Should
talk
we just
about
say it
it.
again?
Hmm?
Should we just say it again?
I just want to give you 11th and then we start 12th. So let's get back to the 11th one so we get the base on out of it. So 11th one was 5th. Okay, Kayana Mansa Buddhi. wo wala. So that one we talk about it. You remember we talk about it with Buddhi, mind, intellect and Indriya. Indriya means the senses. We do all the work to purify our mind, right? So you remember we talk about it that perform action with body, mind and intellect which purifies the mind. So how do we work with body? You remember we talk about it what we should do with the body so that we can purify our mind. How we can use the body to purify our mind?
I don't think.
Use body to serve others.
Use body to serve others, right? Yes, simple that, right? Very simple. We don't ask other to do the work for us, we do work for others, right? Remember that part. Sean remembers that every day, every minute when I ask him to do something for me, he said, you taught us not to ask to do anything. So don't ask me, you do by yourself. Right, Sean? So I give him the same thing. When he asked for food, I said, cook by yourself because you should not ask. Right? Okay. So that was the body. What was mind?
I don't have this stuff. I don't know where it is. I'm not seeing-
What was the mind?
Oh.
You remember, Alia?
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Oh, never mind. Oh, wait. I have the body, the mind, and karma yoga without attachment.
Without attachment, yeah, but it was before that. What do you do with the mind that can help?
Why you were mad?
What?
Oh, prasad buddhi.
Prasad Buddhi, but very close, very close. But what do you do with the mind that could help us to purify our mind? What should we do with the mind? Mind is thoughts, right? The thoughts comes. The desires comes with the thoughts. Control senses will come later. We will talk about that is 4th. So mind, Sean, you have it? What is it?
Basically just like
Rajasic is mine.
Yeah, Rajasic is
so
mind.
no
you're
likes
right.
and dislikes.
Likes and dislike. Control on likes and dislike. Good job.
Oh, it's right here.
Right? So you don't like, hey, mom, give me a good food every day, likes and dislikes. So if we reduce our likes and dislikes, we cannot let it go, right? But like every day, I want to finish my food with a dessert, but one day I don't get it, then I dislike it. That should not be there. Then you are very much dependent on your mind, right? So likes and dislikes, getting negligible likes and dislikes. Now what about intellect? Yeah, tell me. Huh? What was it? Say it again, Risha.
Ownership of work or any action.
Yes, not having the pride in the ownership
goes
that
to
I'm
God.
doing the action, huh?
It goes like the ownership goes to go.
What?
Never mind.
No, tell me.
No, it's the ownership goes to God.
Ownership goes to
God.
God. Yeah, the ownership goes to the God, right? We don't take the ownership of doing all the actions. So not having pride, like I did it, not having that pride thing, right? So, and what about the senses?
Control them.
Control them, control the senses, right? That's very simple. It always going to be like that, right? So control the senses. But rather than controlling it, God gives you eyes. Can I control not seeing?
I mean, you could.
Yeah.
No, you
But not
cannot
if you're
control.
blind.
Huh?
If they're open, no.
If they're open, no, right? If you're sleeping, then yes. Can you stop hearing anything?
No.
Unless
you're deaf.
Yeah.
But
Even if you put earphones, you still can hear a little bit voice,
you
right?
could hear your
What is
music.
like-
Like if you have earphones, then you could
If
hear
you're
what's
in
in the earphone.
solitary confinement,
Then also
Or
you will
there's
hear
just no
some
sound.
noise.
what if there's
You could hear it like when you talk. You could hear yourself.
Well, you just don't talk.
No, you can. Okay, there is one point where you cannot hear yourself. Okay, that point, if we reach it, then we are good to go. Then we don't have to come to this class anymore. Yeah, then you don't hear it. Then
Well,
you
then
can.
technically you don't control it because you have to. Talk.
Yes, but can you stop smelling something?
I mean, if you have like
Yeah.
a cold.
Right, or you just go.
Or you close your nose, right?
In
You have
your
to put something to do it, right? So what my meaning is, senses you cannot control. What you can control is what to see and what not to see, what to hear and what not to hear. You can control that, what to think and what not to think, right? So, good and bad. Good and bad. So you can see bad things too. You can keep your phone on and listen to bad songs too, right? Or you can have bad movies that you can watch, or bad TikToks you can watch all day long, right? You can do that. It's up to you, right? Or you can have some knowledgeable or some good things to watch, or some good things to hear, right? Having God's name, like taking God's name, you can do that, right? Or you can just sit there and keep scrolling your phone screen, right? So that's what it is, right? You have to use the senses. You cannot live without the senses. Controlling the senses is not to not use the senses. It is to use properly in the not pleasurable way. In what way?
Good.
Good and pleasure, right? So good way, not pleasurable way. Good. Okay. So we talk about that, how to make our work in that. So that was the 11th shlok. Now the 12th one. Did I take all the time in 11th shlok? No. Okay. So can we read the 12th one? Come on. So chapter 5, shlok number 12. You guys ready? Anybody wants to read here?
Risha. Avi. Risha wants to read.
You show us to read.
Okay. Anybody? It's a easy one.
Okay, read. Risha's to read. Yakta karma phalam tyaktva
Yukta karma phalam tyaktva
santim apnoti nashtikim
shanti napnoti nashtikim
ayukta kamakarena
Ayukta kamakarena
phalasakto nibadyate.
phale
sakto nibadyate.
Very good, very good. Come on.
Yukta karma phalam tyaktva shanti mapnoti nishtikim. Yukta karma karena phale sakto nibadyate.
So what he says, the united one, the karma yogi, right? He doesn't get attached to fruit of action, right? You already wrote it. That attain the highest peace. Remember this, the highest peace is the one that we're going to be focused on. And the person who is not a karma yogi, what happens to it? He is working with the desires because his desires are there and that's what he works with. And they are attached to the fruit of the action. So when they are attached to the fruit of action, what happens? They get bound with the karma, the action that they take. So the karma yogi, the actions are happening. There is no attachment here with the results. This is for karma yogi. But the action is taken by non-karma yogi, is glued, attached to the results of actions. This one is in highest peace. Remember that. They get highest peace. And this one, always stay bound with this. There is a binding agent between these two. So this is non-karma yogi, this is karma yogi, right? So now we talk about it a lot last week, but I want to just little bit go ahead so that we don't come back to stroke number 12 and start from here too. So I want you to know highest peace. Let's talk about this highest peace one. It says in this shlok that it is Nishta Shanti, means the peace that cannot be bothered by anything, right? Sometimes we get peace. Oh, I'm in peace today, very much in peace. Like kids are not home, I don't have to do anything. I'm in peace, the house is quiet, nothing is going on, I am just sitting there, that kind of peace. But as soon as something happens, what happens? That peace get disturbed, right? But he's not talking about that peace that get disturbed by something. He's talking about the peace. Highest peace means no matter what happens in your life, you still have a peace. That's the peace that he's talking about, right? So it is a different kind of peace. Now what happens is a parent came and says, oh, you know what? A man came to his friend and he said, oh, you know what? I go to the house, everybody is quiet because they are so scared of me. The kids start studying and everybody start doing things and the house is like quite peaceful and nobody says anything, and I'm so great that everybody is scared of me and everybody is peace. Is that what peace he's talking about? No, he's talking about the peace that the person has at any moment of time. No matter if you knock him, if you break him, if you praise him, if you not praise him, if you curse him, nothing happens. It's still in the peace. That's what he's talking about here, right? So now, what are the techniques to get this peace? So technique to get these pieces, I will talk about two techniques. One is no, write this in capital letters because this is the biggest one that you should remember every time in your life. No expectation. To bring the highest peace in your life, the first technique is no expectations. Alia Raja, you don't have the notebook to write?
I do one.
You write it? Okay, write it. So, the technique to get to the highest peace is no expectation, the first one. Now I will tell you one thing. You get monthly salary, right? So you get 15,000 monthly salary, it comes every month. You are expecting it. But what happens when you get a lottery of $5,000?
Your expectations get higher.
No, you get more happy with that $5,000 than what you monthly getting 25,000. Why?
Because there's more.
Because you get more money.
No, because
Because you get it right now.
you were not expecting that 5,000.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's less.
Right? You always you are expecting that 25,000 every month. Right? You are getting that 25,000 every month. You are expecting it. Like every month, day one, I get this 25,000. But this $5,000 that you got in lottery, you were not expecting it. Right? You get more happy getting 5,000 because it was non-expected, but you will not get
and
happy.
you didn't have to work for it.
You were not expecting. So when you don't expect about anything, then you get more happy and you get more peace when you are not expecting anything out of it. Now look at that. What I'm talking about expectation is I'm expecting good behavior from my kids every day, right? They should behave good. Now if they don't behave good, what happens?
You don't have peace.
I don't have peace. I'm sad, right? I'm not happy. But if I don't expect from them to behave good, what's gonna happen? If they behave good, I will be like, wow, they are behaving good. This is an example. But here is the thing I will tell you. When we expect something from somebody, what happens is, if they do what we expected, it's good. But if they don't do what we accept, what happens is,
Bad.
we are very sad,
Yes.
right? We are very sad. Even if friend doesn't call us, we are sad because we are expecting them to call us, right? Happens or not, right? If we come to the point where we stop expecting something from other person, then there is no sadness because we didn't accept it, right? Did you get my point?
Yeah.
Right? If you're not expecting anything from other person, oh, my friend used to give me a good birthday gift. I just wonder what she's gonna give me this time, right? There is an expectation, right? Oh, my mom makes such a good food every day. I'm just waiting for my mom to make a food for me. Expectations, right? If you don't have expectation, then what happens is whatever food comes, you are happy with it. If she brings and if she makes anything, but if she put cakes with it, then what you will say? You are more happy. So when there is no expectation, happiness comes. But when there is an expectation, there might be 50% chances the happiness will come if the expectation is done. If it is not done, then what happens?
You're
You're
sad.
sad.
You're sad.
It's very bad.
So the first thing, if you want to have this highest peace, you have to stop expecting anything from the other person. That's the first thing. I will let you go and I will just say, because I want to do this second one. Do all the things with love. There's only two things that brings you peace. No expectation and love. It's very hard. You expect when there is love. But do these two things and you will get highest peace.
What's the second thing?
Love.
Oh, do everything.
Do everything with love.
I didn't hear it.
Right? When you do something, do it with love. Then what happens is you will always be in peace. Right? Don't do anything with no love in it.
I heard
Right? So if you are doing any work, any chores at home, when mom says, oh, fold the clothes or put the dishes up or wash the dishes, and then you say, no, I am doing with not love. Why is my mom's giving me so much chores to do it? So when this thing comes, then what happens? The peace goes away. But the same thing if you do with, oh, I'm there to help my mom, she will be so happy. You are doing for love for mom, then what happens? The peace will be there. I'm giving you small examples, but if you look at in your bigger pictures, these ones are those two things that's going to give you the highest peace. Got it? Okay, let's close it. Okay, so first we close the class and then we can discuss. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kaushacharnudamardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Om Krishna Arpanamastu. You can close that.